This happened when I was a junior in high school in Ohio. I've always been a bit of a stationery nerd, and my grandfather had gifted me a really nice vintage Parker fountain pen for my birthday. I used it for everything because it made my handwriting look clean and neat. Enter Mr. Henderson, my AP European history teacher. He was the kind of guy who loved power trips and thought his classroom was a dictatorship. One Friday, we had a major midterm essay exam worth 20% of our final grade. I sat down, pulled out my fountain pen with dark blue ink, and wrote my heart out. I knew the material inside out. On Monday, Mr. Henderson started handing back the graded papers. When he got to my desk, he slammed my paper down face down. I flipped it over. In massive red letters, it said F 0 over 100. Severe plagiarism and cheating. I choked up. Mr. Henderson, what is this? I didn't cheat. I studied for a week. He sneered at me in front of the whole class. Don't lie to me. Nobody's handwriting is that perfectly consistent. And the ink thickness varies exactly like a printed calligraphy font. You used a digital smart pen or sneaked a pre-printed page into the exam. I've already reported you to the principal for academic dishonesty. I tried to show him my fountain pen and explain how flexible nibs work, but he snapped, "Put that toy away, you're facing suspension." I went home terrified and told my dad. Now, you need to know about my dad. He is a forensic document examiner and handwriting expert who literally testifies in federal courts for a living. When I told him what happened, my dad got this terrifying, calm smile on his face. He said, "Grab your backpack. We're going to the school." The next morning, my dad and I walked into a meeting with Mr. Henderson and the principal. Mr. Henderson looked smug, thinking I was there to confess. My dad laid his professional briefcase on the table, opened it, and pulled out a high-powered portable digital microscope, a specialized ultraviolet light scanner, and his official state license. He looked at Mr. Henderson and said, "My son tells me you think he used a digital printer to forge his exam. Let's find out." Before the teacher could say anything, my dad turned on the microscope, hooked it up to his laptop screen, and placed my exam paper under it. He pointed at the screen. "Look here, Mr. Henderson. See these microscopic paper fibers pulling upward? That only happens when a physical metal nib scratches across the surface of the paper. A laser printer lays ink flat on top of the fibers. Furthermore, look at the ink pools. See how the ink is heavier at the bottom of the loops? That's called shading, a natural fluid dynamic of fountain pen ink. A printer uses a uniform dot matrix pattern." Mr. Henderson's face went completely pale. He tried to stammer, Well, well, it still looked suspicious. He shouldn't be using weird pens." The principal looked at the screen, then at my dad's official credentials, and then glared at Mr. Henderson. "Henderson, you accused a straight-A student of a jailable academic crime because you didn't know how a pen worked?" My dad wasn't done. He pulled out a copy of the school district board policy. Section 4, page 12 states that any teacher who falsely accuses a student of cheating without verifiable evidence must undergo formal administrative review. I'll be filing a formal complaint with the school board by 5 p.m. today, unless this is resolved perfectly. The principal immediately panicked. He took my paper, looked at the answers, and changed the grade to an A+, 100 over 100, right there. But the best part? Mr. Henderson was stripped of his AP teaching privileges for the next semester and was forced to sit through a mandatory conflict resolution and bias training course. For the rest of the year, every time he walked past my desk, he looked terrified of the fountain pen sitting next to my notebook.